the key factor, the common theme through all of the positions is be comfortable. If you're uncomfortable, you're not doing your partner any favor. Mm-hmm. You're going to translate that discomfort to your partner.
I'm Amy.
I'm April.
Certified sex educators, sexperts of the year, and best-selling authors.
And we're on a mission to help you have more spicy, connected, and amazing shameless sex. Welcome to the Shameless Sex Revolution.
We're so close, it's like we have our own language. We're making sex and relationships shameless.
To learn more, go to shamelesssex.com.
And for 15% off some of our favorite sex toys, use code SHAMELESSSEX at purepleasureshop.com.
You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our sex podcast collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Shameless Sex Podcast.
Here we are
once again. We're doing this online. April just got back from the BVIs.
The BVIs. I feel like I'm on a boat. The BVIs.
And we were joking that you got a BVI there because you got a skin rash.
I got a skin rash that
so was a new stid
all over the body, and it still is there. And I had so much fun. I missed you. I talked a lot about sex. Yeah. I brought the world of sex to the BVIs. Oh. And I was like, do you know what BV is? BVIs? Hello.
Did you have some hot catamaran sex or mega yacht, whatever you were on?
I was on a catamaran. I was on a 67-foot catamaran.
Did you rock the boat though?
It was rocking. We rocked the shit out of that boat. It was so fun. Did. I had so much fun.
That's awesome.
I did some swinging. Yeah. I did some swinging on a rope swing.
not the different kind of swinging.
Yeah. I know the puns with boats and trips are really unstoppable.
It's endless. It's like anal, endless puns.
Exactly.
All right. Well, before we do a sex question, okay. So this episode is with repeat guests Alicia and Erwan Davon. I don't even know how many times they've been on our show, but they have been on our show talking about sex positions beforehand, like penetration sex positions, and so this is more like the 2.0 version of sex positions. And no, not every position is unobtainable. In fact, that's one of our questions. Like, what are other sex positions that maybe are a little more intermediate and advanced, or things that you might not usually think of, but that people can actually do? It's not like having sex upside down on a trapeze. So stay tuned. This will apply to anyone and everyone and give you some inspiration to spice up your sex life, because that's part of spicing up your sex life is playing with positions.
Do you think you could have sex on a trapeze upside down?
My balance is terrible unless I'm doing yoga on the floor. No, I'd fall to my doom. I
sent you that video of the rope swing, Amy. I'll post it. Maybe I should post it on Instagram. Maybe if someone could have sex on that thing, that would be interesting.
You should post it on the Shameless Sex Instagram, because it's April in a bathing suit doing magic tricks.
All right, I will. I will show. I'll share it with the world.
I'm sure Paige could come up with some fun caption for it.
Yeah, shout out to you, Paige.
Hey,
well, guess what else we're doing though? We have to talk about a retreat, because I could be doing fun tricks at our retreat.
That's true. So in the month of October 2026, we have 2 retreats scheduled. One has sold out like 6 months in advance. It's a couples retreat. That is still sold out. And then the other one was for women. And what we decided to do, because so many couples want to come, is we have transitioned that retreat to a couples retreat. And we've already sold some spots. It's like, it's selling like hotcakes. But we are doing 2 back-to-back couples retreats. So they're for 3-night weekends. So 3 nights, 4-day weekends. And so the second retreat is October 22nd to the 25th, and it is in the Palm Springs area. It is life-changing.
Luxury. It's beautiful.
Once you come there, you don't have to think
time of year. Yep. No, you don't have to think about anything.
It's hot. It's sexy. You learn. You get to connect with your partner. You leave with community. The reviews will prove it all to you. So just go to shamelesssex.com to learn more, and you can go to our event section. You can learn more about the retreat. But get it while you can, because the wait list will grow.
There's a wait list. Yeah.
There's a wait list for the other one, and then it's different weekends. So different weekends work for different people. But the other one sold out 6 months in advance. So because we just released this like last week. That's true.
I was on a boat, so I didn't know. And Amy was like, "Hello." I was like, "All good."
Yeah, she was rocking that boat.
I was rocking that boat.
Yeah, go check that out. And then let's do a sex question. You ready?
I think so. I'll brace myself. I feel rusty from podcasting, Amy. What do I do?
Get some oil get some Uber lube. That'll get you, Tin Man. Uber lube works for everything, including Your cognition? I don't know about that one yet, but okay. All right. Here's the question. My husband and I have been married for 2 years and are both struggling with feeling desired by the other, meaning they're not really feeling desired by the other person. He says I don't open up, I don't talk during sex, and to be honest, I think he is bored. I don't feel emotionally connected, and we have very little time together, and most of the time I feel so distant from him. His sex drive is enormous, and I never say no. So it isn't like we aren't having sex, but he feels I am not into it. I know I don't initiate enough, and I can't find the right words for dirty talk, which is something he has asked for repeatedly and gets frustrated because I say I can't. And I just feel like I am stuck. I want to be forward and I want to fuck his brains out, but instead I just freeze. Please help. Wow, how relatable is this to so many people? This is
I know.
common.
I feel that I've been here. Maybe I could have written this myself. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
At some point in our lives, for sure. 100%. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you've been married and of course, you've been in the exact situation.
So relatable.
Yeah. Yeah. And so one thing that stuck out to me, well, a couple things. First of all, as a sex and relationship coach who works with couples, it's really common to see there's like a little bit of this chicken or the egg dynamic. Like because what's here is like he's wanting to feel more desired, meaning like sexual actions, initiation, what actually happens in sex. And that will help him to feel more connected to you. But you're needing him to be more connected to you to want to go and do those sexual things. So it's this chicken or the egg thing, right? Like, well, if you do this first, then I'll do this, but you're both doing this. And so it keeps you stuck and trapped. I can't just tell you how many times I've seen this with clients that I have worked with. And it's not, no one's doing anything wrong. It's just this trap that will keep you there. And so the goal is for both of you to start making shifts and changes, to lean into each other more and each other's needs. Like for you, especially as a woman, the desire for more connection is really important for sex drive because it creates more safety, more closeness, more relaxation in your system. Hey, I actually really know this person that I want to have sex with. I feel really seen and cared for by them, so now I want to fuck them more. But if you don't have that, you might not feel those ways. And same with your partner, right? Like, I need to feel desired by you to even want to maybe spend more time with you, to be curious about you. But who gives in first? And let's not give in. And I'll link this to what this person said. I'm curious what you have to say, April. Did the sentence, so the part about him having an enormous sex drive and I never say no, that stood out to me as maybe that is one of the part of the problems.
Oh.
Like you're never saying no. Are you always wanting to have sex with him then? Are you never saying no just to please him? And is that leading to more to the mediocre, disconnected sex that he's even pointing out? Like, just seems like you're not into it because you maybe aren't, but you're still fucking him. And so we are huge proponents of if you're not in it, or like you're not a yes, like don't do it or find something else that you actually want to do because you're creating a dynamic, one for your own body and self, like, oh yeah, I just do whatever my partner wants, even if I don't like it, want it, or it doesn't feel good. And then that creates like mini trauma in your body and your partner can pick up on when you're not into it. So like when you're having sex, it's important to find some way to actually really want it or not be doing it or do something else.
Yeah. Well, also one thing that I got stuck on in the question was that I know I don't initiate enough. Mm-hmm. So I think if you're not initiating enough, maybe using some sex toys. Yeah. I know I always go that direction. Maybe that will help you get into the mood, or have it out there on the bed and be like, hey, look at this little vibrator I can throw at your way. Or, hey, dirty talk is hard to just get into a dirty talk mode. Okay. If I had any advice for this person, number one, maybe queue up 3 or 4 different lines that you could really get into for dirty talk that you don't think is hard for you to say. So something that you're observing during your sexual experience. Wow, your hands look so nice and I love when they touch my body, or your lips look so juicy. I want to kiss them. I'm giving you really PG-13 version of what you could do. You could go straight for something like your pussy smells amazing. Yeah. We've talked about this so many times, right? In our book, we wrote about it in our book because it's what you're doing in the act right then and there can really help you kind of narrate your experience yourself.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like that what you see in porn, right? It doesn't have to be like, oh my God, you have the best dick I've ever seen, right? Like you want an authentic variation of you, and that's why speaking to just what is happening or what you're feeling is really helpful. Like, oh my God, when my hands are rubbing on your skin, I feel the warmth of your body. It feels so good. I just want to like get closer and get into you and get my mouth all over you, right? You know, if that's what you're feeling. Or it could be like, when you touch me this way, my pussy pulsates, or something like that. And we have a whole podcast episode that we just did recently with Celeste and Danielle from Somatica about dirty talk. And they talk about a lot of different variations, right? Like Celeste has a different way that she likes dirty talk, and Danielle has a different way that she likes dirty talk. And then April and I had different ways, right? So you're figuring out what really works for you. But you know, to me, like these kind of things, like figuring out how to initiate sex. By the way, you can initiate sex by just walking by in lingerie and you just initiated sex. So you don't even have to say anything, right? Initiating can just be like going up to your partner and grabbing their ass, as long as it's consensual. It doesn't have to be what this grand gesture of like, you know, like a proposal or something, but you have to want it and feel it, right? And so coming back to what you said about sex toys, April, like if you're desiring to get in your body and be turned on to engage with your partner, sex toys are like the fast lane to get there. You can use it before you meet up with your partner, or with your partner. Hey, can we use the sex toy on me for a little bit? Give me an orgasm and then maybe I'll be more in the mood. We are huge fans for all humans. The magic wand, I swear, like it is the universal sex toy that works for just about anyone and everyone. If you haven't tried it, especially the waterproof, because now you can use it in the shower and the bathtub, and it's powerful. This is a great way to just like get your motor going. But okay. So, and by the way, if you want the magic wand, go to purepleasureshop.com. You get discount 15% off with coupon code Shameless Sex. But I want to just say you need to work on these harder pieces, which is the connection first, before you go into all the juicy juicies. But while you're doing that, your partner still wants to receive some of the things they're desiring, right? So it's not just like them giving you the connection that you need. It's you also stepping up and leaning into your partner, giving them some of the desiring that they're also wanting in a way that you can do, though. So like, if you're having sex with them just to please them because of their enormous sex drive, but you're not turned on, get turned on before, or do other sexual acts that you do like. Okay, maybe it's not penetration. Maybe it's oral stuff. Maybe it's hand stuff, right? So like you're just really working with, and it's going to be different every day based on like how you're feeling, your stress level. I know I don't want to have sex with my partner if we're super disconnected, but that's just me. It doesn't work. I need to feel connected first. I need to feel good. I need to feel safe. I need to feel like you love me, you care about me, you're curious about me, right? And if I don't have those things, my sex drive isn't really a thing. And if I were to push that, it'd be a problem.
And I hate answering a question with a question, but is there an app for that?
Yeah.
Isn't there an app
actually
for
is
everything?
a helpful app for connection
Right?
and play?
I feel like there's an app for everything.
Yeah, there totally is. There is an app for everything. And we just discovered this app that is called Attuned. And there are a number of Attuned apps. Go to the Attuned app that has the heart as the decal. And it is a great way to stay engaged and do kind of like creative play with your partner, where it has these different prompts. Some of them are a little more like just sharing about yourself. That's a connection thing.
I used it on the boat.
Did you? Was it fun?
Yes, I did. Yes,
God.
It was fun. It helped.
Yeah. And some of them are a little more like action oriented, a little more racy, right? And you can skip the ones if you're like, no, I don't want to do this one. But this is a great way, especially for people where it's hard to come up with the creativity on how to stay connected or like try new things. Doing this, like this will get you there, give you some of the inspiration and help you to discover more about each other. So go check out the Attuned app. It's in the App Store. I believe if you go to getattuned.app, I believe that's what it is. That's how you can like Google it or look it up. Just go to your App Store, look up Attuned, and look for the one with the heart. We also, in our book, we have an entire chapter about communication and sex, because it sounds like y'all are having a hard time even communicating about sex, about, you know, the mismatches, what's working, what's not working. And a big part of you know, being in a relationship and having connected sex is talking about sex in a productive way, in a connected way. So if you feel really unfamiliar and a little scared to talk about sex with your partner, including the heavy things, go and learn more about it. Go gain some more communication skills to be able to have this conversation. So you can get our book. It's on Audible. So you can just listen to it. You can get our book at shamelesssex.com or basically any bookstores on Amazon. It's called Shameless Sex. It's really fun, easy to read, and there's some personal stories of April and I too. It really, really is. But I would guide or advise if you are having sex that doesn't feel good or is just to please someone else and you're not turned on, please stop doing that and find ways to have sex that you actually can at least somewhat enjoy and be at least somewhat turned on for, and that will really transform your sex life. And it's okay to go and hire someone to work with to help you too in this really hard space. That's what I do with couples.
This is 2 years in married, so it's time to do the work. Do the work.
This is normal. This is common. But the goal here is really for you all to lean into each other. You are going to need connection from your partner, and you're saying you barely see each other. So that's the thing. We need to see each other more. We need to spend more quality time together. We need to be curious about each other and have deeper conversations about who we really are. And in that, then I would need this from you, and I'm going to make more effort to initiate sex, but initiate sex that I want, the sex that I like. And so you continue to do that, put them together, but no more chicken or the egg, right? More leaning in and working together. You're a team, and a sexy one at that.
I like it, Amy.
Bring sexy back. Yeah.
All right. Great question.
Yes, thank you.
That was a detailed answer. I think they're going to love it. Yeah. All right. You ready for the bio?
Yes. Bring it on.
Erwan and Alicia Davon, longtime relationship coaches and San Francisco's foremost Tantra teachers, developed their signature process, the Davon Method, and have taught it to over 20,000 students in groups, at retreats, and in individual sessions. They have become the go-to place for all things romantic and sexual worldwide. To learn more, go to davonmethod.com.
All right, everyone, it is interview time, and we are here with repeat guests, Alicia and Erwan Davon, and there may be a competition between Alicia and Erwan guesting on our show many times versus Alice and Ash, but I think they're winning. I think you're winning the competition as you've been our show more than any one. Well, you're two people, but
is it more than 8 times?
I'm pretty sure they're at 10. I don't know. I
double digits.
Yeah. And there's a reason why we have them back. It seems like quarterly. They are great at what they teach, what they do, how they help the world. They can talk about almost any topic. And so we've already done an episode with them on sex positions, but you can talk about positions for hours upon hours. And so now we're doing sex positions 2.0, meaning more intermediate and advanced. No, we're not talking about those sex position cards where you're having sex hanging upside down. That's for the circus. This will be more realistic. We'll also talk a little bit about how Tantra fits into Sex Positions 2.0. So you already heard a little bit about Alicia and Erwan in the intro and the bio, but let's do what we always do. Alicia and Erwan, welcome back to Shameless Sex. And if you can tell us and our listeners a little more about how you got into the field of sexuality, that would be fantastic. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, I like it.
Caffeine.
Why don't you start?
All right. Basically, I had sort of a crazy sex life as it really got crazy in my 20s. And at one point, I lived in a yoga ashram. And I've mentioned to y'all in the past, I was sneaking women into the ashram. And I'd been there for a while. I'd become director of the ashram because I was really into yoga and Tantra and, all this stuff. And one day I'm leading a house meeting, in one of those community kitchens in the ashram with all the wood and all the bearded people and the, hippies, and I was a hippie, and the flowing scarves and colors and all the rest of it, and everything is very, very yogic. And in the middle of that, one of the main guys there, a close friend of mine named Hari, he stood up. I think we were talking about the meal plan. He stood up randomly in the middle of the conversation, total non sequitur, and he said, Erwan, have some restraint. And, that was because I was trying to fit yoga and sex positions and all of this together. And it just really sort of didn't fit. Then a little later, I met Alicia. I'm skipping about 10 years.
A little later, just a smidge. Yeah.
There's a lot of stories. But that, the short of it is it started with a crazy sex life. And then eventually I found that I was doing all this extended orgasm stuff and doing all this yoga stuff and doing all this chakra stuff. And that was Tantra. I was totally qualified. I'd never called it Tantra. I was totally qualified to call it Tantra. And that's how we became the foremost Tantra teachers in this galaxy, I think.
The whole galaxy. So that's big.
Yeah.
So galactic.
Yeah, that combination or the coming together of things like yoga and spirituality and these types of things and sexuality, that is what drew me to Erwan. Because when I was studying psychology and I was planning to be a therapist and I was getting a little bit I don't know if this is exactly what I want to do. It wasn't quite exciting enough for me. And a friend of mine brought me over to Erwan's. She's like, you're going to love this guy. He's into yoga and pleasure and sex. And there's this thing, extended orgasm. And I was like, I got to meet this guy. And the night I met him, I remember walking into his apartment where he was leading this games group, like a communication game group. And when I walked in, it felt like I had walked into Enlightenment Central, like my whole brain melted and opened up, and I felt really turned on. And there is just something awesome about having that, however you celebrate your spirituality or presence, but having that, and then also having it be super sexy. So that's what drew me to Erwan, and that's how I got here.
And then you changed the world and you made it better with all the sex positions. And we've talked to you about more than just sex positions. We've talked to you about so many things, but this topic is a good one because it gets boring sometimes if you don't get to an advanced level. You're like the Mario, if you just Mario Brothers, if you're only on level 1 the whole time, gets really boring. And you can be an expert in missionary as much as you want, but sometimes it's nice to change it up, right? So I know that you two, I think this is an audio medium that we put out there, but if anybody's able to watch YouTube, I'm hoping that they'll show some video as well. So you can get the idea of sex positions and not just talk about it, but try these things. And Alicia and Erwan they're fit. But you don't have to be fit to do different sex positions, right? To be an
right.
expert. You don't have to be a yogi master. I just want to start off by asking that, right?
No, it's no pain, no gain, April. That's
you
only
lift someone above your head.
Only people under 30 should have sex.
Oh God.
So, but you're absolutely right. It's the key in terms of sex positions. Let's get right to the point, is be comfortable. We'll go through a bunch of different sex positions, but the main thing is actually be comfortable. The primary sex positions we use, we've even named them. They have names like lazy days. Both of our bodies are completely relaxed. We have doggy with a bone. That's got a little bit more of an erotic kind of.
It's funny,
but it's an equally, or almost as equally relaxed.
Yeah. And two-headed monster.
Two-headed monster.
Oh,
yeah,
more
exciting. It's very
awesome.
Relaxing. We have some imagery we can show when everybody's ready.
This is starting to sound more like a tattoo.
Well,
sex tattoos.
This is the thing that I loved about learning different sex positions and playing with them with Erwan was, when I first met you, I remember saying something like, I want you to pick me up and hold me against the wall and let's have intercourse that way. And he's like, if you really want that, I'll do that. Do you want to try it? I don't know how comfortable it'll be. And after 2 seconds, I'm just like,
never mind.
Back on the bed. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's the number one overrated sex position, is the wall position. Probably great for a Hollywood shot. You can zoom in close and all the rest of this kind of stuff. But most people can't do it. I'm very strong. I'm one of the strongest people on the planet, but even
in the galaxy. But still, it's hard.
Well, okay, so that's good. I'm glad. So anybody listening out there, you can do sex positions 2.0 that we're going to talk about. You can do all of these things, hopefully. And the wall position is not going to be one of them. So let's talk about sex positions 2.0. And for intermediate folks or expert folks, advanced folks listening or wanting to be an expert, stay tuned because they're about to blow your mind. So at what point do you look at yourself and you're like, okay, I'm officially ready for expert mode. I've mastered everything. I'm masturbation. And now I want to master sex positions.
Well, it's a good question. In our system, 1.0 is typically the guy sitting next to the woman. She's laying down, he's sitting up, he's stroking her. Now, that's a little different than what for most people would be 1.0. 1.0 for most people might be missionary position or doggy style or something like that. But I would recommend, really getting the woman rolling, really stroking her clitoris in one position or another, sitting up in maybe a cross-legged position. She's laying down in front of the guy and he's stroking her is a good way to kind of get things going. Pretty simple, pretty basic. For people of an advanced age, doing it on a massage table is a really good idea, or a couch. Put the chair by the side of the couch or side of the bed, actually. And then 2.0 for us is often more some of the positions we were just talking about, lazy days, etc. We call mutual pleasurable stimulation. You want to sit so I don't dominate the microphone here? You want to
dominating? So the 1.0 that Erwan was describing, one thing about it is it has distinct roles. One person is what we call at cause, the person stroking the clitoris. The other person laying down is at effect, the one that's being stroked. There's a lot of benefits to learning how to be in each role and learning the skills associated with each. But once you really have those skills, the mutual pleasurable stimulation positions are really lovely because you're stroking or sucking and being stroked at the same time. And there's a nice circuit of energy that happens between the two people, and you kind of feed off each other's energy.
Tantra is a lot about energy, the energy body, circuits of energy, lines of energy, paying attention to the inner body, subtle body, energy body. It's kind of like fine dining. If you pay more attention to the food because the food is better, so you get a more subtle effect, or the label on a, expensive thing of coffee, bag of coffee, or, it's got berry flavor and like chocolate cacao, blah, blah, and, all the rest of this kind of stuff. So you get into that more subtle experience. And when there's mutual pleasurable stimulation, both partners pleasuring each other simultaneously, you create a circuit of energy. And it has a potential for a lot more experience. The classic position everybody could visualize for that would be a 69 position. Typically, you'd have the woman on top. Typically women are a little bit smaller, so woman's a little bit more comfortable on top. Guys more comfortable on the bottom. Two-headed monster is a bit like, imagine if you took the 69 position and then you put both people on their sides. Instead of one on top of the other, you put them just both on their sides. Then the sucking can be sucking or licking or stroking. So it can be manual stimulation or oral stimulation, or one person manual stimulation, one person oral stimulation. And, you might have your head up on your hand, or you might have some pillows behind your head or something like that. Again, the key factor, the common theme through all of the positions is be comfortable. If you're uncomfortable, you're not doing your partner any favor. You're going to translate that discomfort to your partner if you're uncomfortable, because sex by definition is a joining, a union. It's a it's a field of experience. So if your side of the field of experience, the common experience, is uncomfortable, it's impacting the field of the experience.
So we're going to talk about 2.0. It's less about acrobatics and strength and the actual physical positions itself, although I'm sure that will be a part of it, and more about like the energy and the intention and the connection pieces and what you're doing with that, which I like because we'll talk a little bit more about like the positions. We'll dive deeper into that, but I like because it's nice to make them obtainable for almost all bodies. Like you don't have to be like Erwan, the strongest man in the universe, or galaxy. Sorry, he was like galaxy. That was big. And so, yeah, we'll get more into that. And then, yeah, the comfort piece, I agree with. And actually, I'm not a huge fan of being on top for oral sex because I can't relax. It's like, it's a lot easier for my partner to get off and feel stimulation from oral sex than it is for me. And so for me personally, when I'm on top, it's kind of more like I'm just doing him a favor by sitting on his face. It's more like I'm doing this for you because for me, I'm like holding my body up and it's already takes a lot of focus for me to relax into oral sex. And I'm just bringing that as an example, not to like correct you in some way. I'm just to highlight like how comfort is being comfortable is important so that you can fully drop in, right? If I'm in my head and I'm like, I can barely feel my clit right now because I'm like just focusing on holding my body up, then it's going to pull me out of the experience. But it is nice to sit on someone's face when they want it sometimes. So, but before we dive deeper into positions, how does trying new positions spice up people's sex lives? Like, why is that an important thing? And how does that add more of that spiciness?
So I'll start, which is that when we do anything the same way over and over, it's really easy to go into autopilot and not be present and not really be feeling. And then your mind is somewhere else. That's just human. Some things in life, we want that, right? Like we don't want to have to really focus and concentrate every time we tie our shoes. Like that's nice that it's on autopilot and we don't have to think about it. But I mean, with sex, there's so much to feel. There's so much potential pleasure. So just doing something new and changing position, it requires paying more attention. And then you might feel things you haven't felt and find that you prefer things that you didn't realize. And it's like this really easy, cool way to keep bringing newness into your sex life, which nobody wants to get old, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. You're attending to it. You're bringing newness into it. You're concentrating on it. As Tantra teachers, we're sort of spiritual teachers. So you're practicing. The most important part of, sex is doing it, practicing it. It kind of gives you something to do. And it, the change has you look at it differently. The same way, if you go on vacation with your lover, it's new, it's different because you're in a new place. And, you even look at your same old life and everything is different. Everything is new. It's kind of refreshed.
Yeah. And you could discover something that you never knew you liked. And all of a sudden that you can add that to your daily or weekly menu.
Well, there you go.
Fun.
Exactly.
Okay, so I have been telling everyone about this app my partner and I have been loving, and I finally get to tell you all about it.
It's called Attuned, and honestly, think truth or dare, but powered by your actual intimacy profile. It was basically made for Shameless Sex listeners. That's you, and trust me, you are going to love this.
You and your partner each take a 54-question survey based on real sexology research, the same dual control model used by the Kinsey Institute. Then the app reveals where you align and generates personalized activities based on who you both actually are, not random suggestions, your suggestions.
And this isn't just for one kind of couple. Any orientation, any relationship structure, up to 6 people, fully queer inclusive. Plus, there's a hard boundary system built in, so nothing crosses a line you haven't agreed to. Skip buttons always available.
The free version gives you the survey, your results, and the first 2 intimacy levels to explore together. Use code SHAMELESS. Tell your partner tonight.
Go download Attuned free on iOS. That's right, it's free to start. And use code SHAMELESS for 30% off your first month of premium. That's ATTUNED, getattuned.app, code SHAMELESS. Just look for the heart.
Okay, Amy, real talk. Have you ever thought about what's actually in someone's load?
Oh, yeah, constantly. Like quantity, quality, taste, it all matters.
Well, that's exactly why you need Load Boost, everyone, by VB Health. Because VB Health has one simple mission: create supplements that actually work. And Load Boost, well, it really works.
We're talking more volume, better taste, pineapple source bromelain, stronger orgasms, and support for fertility. Doctor formulated, science-backed, third-party tested twice. It's not good, it's great.
And honestly, VB Health keeps impressing us. They just dropped a brand new energy boost supplement, science-backed ingredients for energy, focus, and blood flow. VB Health is always here to help us level up.
They really are. Top quality supplements across the board. Sexual health, daily wellness, all of it.
So if you or your partner are ready to upgrade what's happening in the bedroom and beyond, get Load Boost and Energy Boost from VB Health right now.
Visit loadboost.com and use code Shameless for 10% off, or click the link in the episode description to get yourself locked and loaded for something that actually works.
Back in the day, working at Pure Pleasure Shop when there was a physical store in Santa Cruz, and me getting my mind blown, there was this, I don't remember if it was a book or if there were like cards, but there was this deck of positions, and that one of them was like the assassin.
Oh yeah, you love the assassin.
And the assassin, and it was like somebody like basically like holding their legs. The head was in between, the ass was like the crack was where the nose is. And then someone was like extended, like you'd have to like Dirty Dancing, like the lift. They were having to do a plank in the air. And I'm like,
so relaxing.
How the fuck does that happen? That's not, and I'm like, is that the assassin?
So many orgasms happen.
I'm like,
with that.
You'd have to be really strong. And then I'm like, well, I guess someone could be laying down anyway, flying like Superman. But that position just always stuck in my head as something that was kind of all hype. I'm like, that seems hypey. And like, are they just making shit up so they can fill this book up with positions? And then, you could have some shame being like, I don't think I could ever do the assassin because I don't think I can fly like that. Even if I'm Erwan, the strongest man in the world. The galaxy. I don't think so. So I'm wondering from your perspective, and that was a little bit of a tangent, but I remember that book. Do you remember I told you about that?
Cards.
It was
cards. A deck of cards.
Yeah, it was a deck.
And it was actually like advanced. It was like, It wasn't just like your regular 30.
But I remember flipping through and I was like, I could never.
No one could do any of those.
I
was
was
like hanging from the ceiling by your
wild
legs.
shit. So
it was Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, it was. Which, maybe we should put that on the to fuck list. Cirque du Soleil person, so we can try the assassin. Amy,
got to try it out. Got an OD
right.
now. Got one of those.
Yeah. Hashtag life goals. Okay, so bringing it back to this interview and this next question, because it has to do with moves that are all hype. So if you had to let everyone know one position, maybe each of you have a different one. Alicia, maybe you have a different one than Erwan, but what's one position everyone thinks they should try, but maybe they secretly regret it halfway through? Or maybe there's other ones that you know of that are just all hype.
We talked about the wall, so maybe there's the wall
one. That's
the wall
a good
bang.
One. Yeah, wall bang.
I feel like I've had that experience where I was like, this hurts my back, and like, and this person like, and it's like bang, 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 and I'm like, what if it's like against brick or in movies it looks hot though.
Yeah, that's mine. For sure. And there was some Ryan Gosling movie I saw, probably more than one, because he really does that in his movies.
Yeah, he does.
Hot guy that fucks woman up against the wall. And I really, really wanted that. But then when we tried it, I was like, let's just go get back to what we usually do and relax on the bed and all these other positions. So that's mine, is like not worth it. The wall.
Mm-hmm. There's one we've probably all seen in porn. I know none of your listeners watch any porn, but
no, never.
Where the guy is holding the woman, sucking on her pussy, she's sucking on his cock, but she's upside down and they're standing up.
Yeah.
Right. So and sometimes that's against the wall, usually not against the wall.
Yeah.
But it's like 69, but standing.
Yeah,
that's just that's a really good way to hurt your back.
It's injury waiting to happen.
See, that's like the assassin, but that she would have to be, whoever's on it would have to be flying outward, and then you'd be the assassin,
like literally
Acro
flying.
Yoga sex. Yeah. I mean, most of the stuff in the Kama Sutra is not really accessible, actually. The Kama Sutra being that Indian book of 1,000,001 sex positions. I love the book just because it's kind of, fun to look at and addressing it. Another one in the sort of yoga world, there's a yoga posture called Dhanurasana, which is basically a back bend. Right. You go on the floor. Kids can sometimes do it. Adults rarely can do it. And it's it's like an arch. It's like a back bend, hands and feet.
Full wheel, the wheel thing. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's a hard one for me, for sure.
Right. So, there's a sex position where the woman is doing that. She's got her legs spread and the guy is standing in front of her. So that
sounds interval. Yeah, that sounds like, it's just performative, right? And porn is performative, right? And like, yes, in porn, sometimes they're like, that's why we love Erica Lust's porn, Erica with a K, because it's real. It's, it's real people that really want to connect with each other. Yes, they are getting paid, but they are having real pleasure. And they're not trying to do a back bend unless it was a circus themed porn. Then maybe they would, right? So it's not that, it's not the best example for sex in general. So let's talk more. You named like some things like the two-headed monster and all those things. And we're talking about, let's focusing on things that just about anyone can do. So can we dive a little deeper into the positions that just about anybody can do? We don't have to be yogis or the strongest human in the galaxy or part of the circus. And then also, like, what are the benefits of trying these? I think we talked about that, like spicing things up. But yeah, what are some of these? Let's dive deeper into this fun stuff.
Well, one of them, and I guess we
can show some pictures. Yeah, we'll show some pictures.
Actually, why don't we put the picture up?
If you're not following us on YouTube, everyone go look up Shameless Sex Podcast on YouTube, and you can see all these fun things.
Good,
This one. Yeah. All right, here we go.
So, the two-headed monster, for listeners, I'll describe it. The big benefit, first of all, you're comfortable. We've covered all that. The second point is that the man can stimulate the woman's clitoris, and the woman can stimulate the guy manually or orally, and having easy access to her clitoris and stimulating her clitoris during a sex act. It's, when you think about it, it's kind of a no-brainer. The clitoris and the cock are homologous. They're similar sex parts. Yes, there's a lot of sensation in the vaginal opening, the introitus, but it's largely through connection with the clitoris. The clitoris is where there's actually the most nerve endings. So a position like this that optimizes stimulation of the clitoris is a 2.0 position, an optimal position.
Mm-hmm. I like this. Is that you two in the diagram?
It has to be.
I was like, that looks like Alicia's face all in bliss right there.
It's absolutely in bliss. That's definitely us.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm noticing in that, if you all didn't see it too, there's pillows there used as props, right? So you're creating this setup so everyone can be comfortable, connected, and then there's this mutual pleasure. So it's mutual comfort, mutual relaxation, and mutual pleasure, which leads to more advanced pleasure at the same time.
Now, the next one, since we mentioned it, let's put up Doggy with a Bone. That's a fun one.
I'm so curious about Doggy with a Bone. We all know Doggy style. Yeah. Doggy with a Bone.
Not a politically correct name, but,
Okay, so it doesn't look like Doggy style, everyone, if you're just listening.
Right. So this
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
It.
I think Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon might be the 3.0 version.
Yeah, there you go.
Sexual Kung Fu, actually. This will be our next episode. So here again, it's easy to stimulate the woman's clitoris. And when the woman's having fun, as far as I'm concerned, the sex act is only as good as the woman is having fun. And I don't mean that in some kind of self-compromising way or anti-masculine way or anything like that. Like, in our sex life, she's the center of the turn-on. Mm-hmm. And if she's really getting off while she's sucking my cock, it's way better. Mm-hmm. And the field of relationship is way more turned on, way more vibrant, way more colorful. So here, it's easy to stimulate her clitoris, and then the woman can do the guy manually or suck on his cock.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to echo that.
We should also describe it for listeners.
Oh, yes. Okay, so Doggy with a Bone is, so for those of you that didn't see the image, Erwan was lying on his back, and then I was on my knees perpendicular to him. So then I could suck on his cock directly. And then his hand was able to reach through and stroke my clitoris at the same time.
I feel like the perpendicular, because when you were talking about this earlier, my brain was thinking the like parallel, right? But like we're swapped, right? So my pussy in someone's face, but the angle from that image, the perpendicular seems like, I was just thinking for myself, I feel like I could relax more in that position, because also you were on your forearms instead of your palms, also because you're using your hands. You know, there was something there. It looks like a very enjoyable position for all.
It's a good angle, and that's a big thing in our work when we work with singles and couples and teaching them these positions, is slowing down and taking the time to see what works and where are you going to put your hand and how are you going to reach around, because everybody's shoulders and arm lengths and body lengths are different. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, in that one, I am holding myself up on my arm. So it's not 100% bodies relaxed, but it's like 90%.
And in terms of the comfort, you know, communication, like you communicated with your partner, Amy, that, you know, being on top of him wasn't comfortable. You know, she preferred this other position. So people don't want to talk during sex often. And that's silly. Talking is a really good idea, whether it's erotic talking or, I don't know, logistical talking.
Well, yesterday I was coaching a couple here, and they both come from cultures that, I mean, we most of us don't talk enough, right? In sexual situations, but they both come from different cultures where like you really aren't supposed to. And they said, we just don't talk at all during sensual contact. We don't know what to do. So I put them, you know, clothed. It was a coaching session in the position of her laying down and him sitting up by her side. And he's like, I don't know what to say. And I said, just tell her what you're doing right before you do it. And then tell her what you're doing as you do it. And he's like, I'm going to take my hands now and put them on your chest and your abdomen. She's like, oh, and you could feel her getting turned on. He said, I'm giving you deeper pressure now. Now I'm moving your hand here. So it's logistics. You can talk about that. It doesn't have to be erotic.
It could be sexy. You're making it sexy when you do that.
It's sexy, right? Yeah. And it concentrates the person who's being talked to. It concentrates their mind on what's happening. And the mind going away from the sex act is, you know, just not a good idea. Even if a person fantasizes about somebody else, if they do it privately, it's going to take away from the sex act. If they do it out loud, it can really add to the sex act. So talking, communicating, not letting one's attention kind of drift off and away really helps. And if somebody narrates what's going on, you know, then you're both locked in.
So far, everything you've talked about, anyone could really do. Anyone. Any of these suggestions, tips are applicable to anybody in so far.
Any
sex act, any acts of sexual amazingness.
Okay, real talk. We've been waiting to tell you about this one, the magic wand, but waterproof.
Yes, that's right. My favorite vibe ever. And it's waterproof, as in shower, bath, hot tub, pool. Honestly, wherever water goes, this baby goes. Imagine warm water cascading down your back, wand on your shoulders, melting away tension, then slowly drifting, that favorite zone.
Or partner play in the tub, taking turns tracing every single erogenous zone while gravity just disappears. It's not a toy, it's a ritual, a whole sensory experience. And here's the thing, Magic Wand doesn't chase trends. They've released 6 models in 50 years because when something is iconic, you don't fix what isn't broken.
See why Wire literally called it the most iconic vibrator on Earth. We are not arguing. Built to last, costs pennies per orgasm over its lifetime. Honestly, best investment you'll ever make. Facts? It's better than my 401k.
Yes, it is. And get the new and improved Magic Wand Waterproof for 15% off right now with coupon code Shameless Sex on purepleasureshop.com. That's right. The best wand in the world that's also waterproof for 15% off at purepleasureshop.com with coupon code Shameless Sex.
Newsflash, everybody. We are picky about our lubes.
Can we say uber picky?
Yes, we can. And let me tell you all why Uber Lube is our absolute favorite lube ever. Uber Lube is a luxurious silicone lubricant that I want all over my body. Yes, it's designed for sex because it enhances intimacy while allowing you to still feel the skin-on-skin contact, but it feels so good that I want it everywhere. Uber Lube is long-lasting, leaves your skin feeling velvety smooth, and it's there when you want it, but then it dissipates when you're done.
Yes. Aside from using Uber Lube for all of my sexy sessions, and I use it all the time, I also use it for massages, for my hair frizzies, to prevent chafing, and it brings out the color of your beautiful tattoos. Thousands of doctors and therapists in the US alone are recommending Uber Lube to their patients because it's body-friendly, less likely to change the pH, and has vitamin E, so it feels moisturizing on the skin. Uber Lube has no flavor or scent, which means it's also great for oral sex. And it comes in a beautiful glass bottle with a pump top, which means easy access to Pleasure Town.
Want to see why we think Uber Lube is the best lube in the world? Then go to uberlube.com and use discount code SHAMELESS to get 10% off and free shipping. Again, that's uberlube.com right now with code SHAMELESS for 10% off and free shipping. So, look, you can train for this, I'm sure, because if people want to experiment and be a lot more maybe flexible and use positions that require strength, perhaps, because sex can be very physical, right? You can be relaxed, but there's a lot of physicality involved in sexual experiences. And I'm wondering if is there a way to train for this? Do you have a boot camp, like a sex position boot camp? Maybe that's Davon Method 2.0, or no, maybe that's like, I don't know, 2042. We'll do that. 2042.
Well, we do.
Yeah, you do.
We have a sequence. Sometimes we call it 1.0, 2.0. Sometimes we call it chapter 1, chapter 2. And you do want to train. The main part of training is get on the court. If you're training in basketball, get on the court, get on the basketball court. One of the advantages of changing up sex positions is because you're just doing something, you're training, it's a practice. And typically the series goes one person pleasuring the other first, then mutual pleasurable stimulation. Then we bring in intercourse positions. Again, so we call that 3.0. Where the guy, why don't you talk for a minute?
Okay, sounds good.
Got a frog in
the intercourse position. Oh, well, let me bring up an image of this. Intercourse positions.
So now we're talking penetration, everyone. We're talking about penetration. Cocks in pussies. But maybe you could do with a strap on and a dildo too.
Or fingers?
Yeah.
No, mostly cocks.
Yeah. And again, remember, the theme is still comfort.
This looks nice.
Literal stimulation. Look at this, right? Yeah. So this what do we call this? The Holy Cross.
The Holy Cross.
Position.
Yeah.
Ooh. Hallelujah.
You can see this. Erwan can thrust right in there. I'm fully relaxed.
So you're like facing each other, but you're on your back, Alicia, in this image. Erwan, you're facing, but you're on your side, and then your legs are like crisscross, like a pretzel.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're sort of facing each other, but we're sort of perpendicular. You're right, Amy. I'm on my side, Alicia's on her back, and our legs, as if you took two scissors and kind of joined them. Mm-hmm. Together, put the blades together. I hate bringing up blades, but
scissors is good. Scissoring gives a good, it's a good
scissor position sometimes.
Yeah.
This is one more intercourse position that might be more common for people to do. It's like a spooning position, essentially. Erwan is spooning me. Mm-hmm. Again, you can see he can reach around and stroke my clitoris, and the key with this is as many pillows as you need, like whatever it would take for my knees to be spread apart without holding them. I'm using Erwan's leg for that, but I'll often put a pillow between my legs.
Yeah.
And
but you're using his leg as like a helpful prop.
It's a prop.
Yeah. It's just a prop. That's all it is. But it's smart. It's smart. Yeah.
Yeah. And he could have something behind his back if he really wanted to have something, not to have to hold himself up there. So those are 3.0 intercourse examples.
I like all this because whenever people think of intermediate advanced, they're thinking what April's talking about, the assassin and like all of these things that are unobtainable or not so pleasurable for a lot of people. And with everything that you've shown us, it's everyone is winning. It's like, just you're altering things that maybe you're already doing some of these positions, but you're altering it for even more comfort and even more pleasure and even more connection. That's what I'm gauging from it.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. That's more advanced.
So what about the yab yum? That one, I want to hone in on that one. When you're like sitting so you're both sitting almost like cross-legged, but not. And so if I was maybe you have an image coming up, because this one's always been really hard for my body in terms of my flexibility. So my partner's kind of almost like cross-legged, and then I'm facing them, but I'm wrapped around them. So like we're both almost in like a cross-legged position, like wrapped around each other. And you always see this in porn too. I see, or in like hot, not porn, it's like hot sex scenes in R-rated movies. Yeah, they're pulling up an image of this. And I've found it kind of hard for my hips to relax in this, but I have really tight hips. But yeah, what do you have to say about this one?
Well, one way, it's one of those advanced positions that you see in porn and in the Kama Sutra, etc. They can actually be very comfortable. One way to make it more comfortable, Amy, this might work for you, is and the image on the screen shows doing it in a chair.
Yeah, that would totally help. Smart. Continue. Yes.
So it's basically like a lap dance with the woman facing the guy. If you do it in a chair, that's typically how we make it more comfortable for people if there's difficulty in the hips. And then sometimes you can actually take a yoga block and put it under your butt. And then the guy, instead of having his legs crossed and you're sitting on top of his crossed legs, he'll have his legs sort of out. You'll have your legs out, but you'll be sitting on something.
Yeah. Yeah. Like so you need that like prop. Yeah. When I saw the chair image, I was like, I've done chair sex before and, facing my partner or facing away, but I haven't thought of it as like altering the yab yum position to that because that would be super helpful because my legs do need more room. If they're just tight around my partner, then my whole pelvis is tight. So I love that. Thank you. I'm trying that tonight.
Yes.
Homework.
And if you face away in the chair, it's also nice. I keep bringing this up, but I might sound like a broken record, but you can stimulate the woman's clitoris if the woman is facing away.
Like if you're on his lap.
From the guy. Right.
Yeah.
That's just a key. I don't want to risk the guy's not getting that. Like if you're stimulating her clitoris, like the world is better. You're forgiven many things.
It's true. I agree.
Word to that. You know it. So, okay. What about final words or tips to someone who wants to take it up a notch, but they're scared or hesitant? And this can come up a lot in sexual experiences where you're like, oh, I really want to try that two-headed monster, but I'm scared.
Well, it's funny. When I was a teenager, I had OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and anxiety disorder. I got a degree in psychology largely to deal with that. What makes fear worse, I'll just sort of bottom line it, is running away from it. If you go towards something that you're afraid of, basically exposure therapy to use psychological parlance, then you decondition yourself from that. If you run away from it, you get more scared. So, the bottom line is to go toward, responsibly, right? I'm not saying run into the street on a red light, but go towards things responsibly that are scary, do it in a safe way. And then you decondition yourself to it. You have to kind of first tolerate the fear, feel the sensations somatically, physically, right? And then after a while, they just start to kind of bother you less. And you just continue with the act, but not in a way where you're compromising yourself. And for some people, even re-traumatizing themselves. You don't want to do that. You want to slow down so you can really handle. Anxiety usually feels like kind of cold, trickly, like a stream of cold throughout the body. Right. Mm-hmm. So you feel that, and at a pace that you can feel it, you go slowly. And then if you do that, it decreases. If you go away from the experience, it increases. Or if you're, let's say, getting into a sex act or a sex position and anxiety is coming up, and you're going into your head, thinking in the head, kind of removing yourself from the experience that way, that will also increase it.
There's also something about trying a new sex act, for example. What you described is really good for the person that's feeling anxious, like you were talking about. And if you are the partner that maybe doesn't feel as anxious or maybe has more experience, being really approving of the person is so helpful. I remember when Erwan and I first started dating and we were having a lot of sex and sexual experiences, and I was discovering extended orgasm, clitoral stroking, all of it. And one afternoon we were in his bedroom and I started thinking about giving him a blowjob, but I had barely done it before and I didn't think I'd be very good at it. And so I said something like, should I give you a blowjob? Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, do you like blowjobs? Do you like that? Like, do you want to?
Like, need permission. Yeah. Should I?
I don't know. Yeah.
I think this is a good idea.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. And I just don't think I'd be very good at it. And he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, let's take this really slow, and then she's like, just try it for like 10 seconds, and I literally probably for 5 seconds tried to give him a blowjob and came off his cock and was like looking at him. He's like, that was awesome. That was he was
like cheerleader. Yeah,
totally. And it was authentic and he was just gentle and great about it. And then, fast forward to today.
Now you love cock.
I love them. Teeth
enjoying themselves more than me when that's happening is Alicia.
Yeah, that's
I really
awesome.
love them. And it all sprouted from that. I was nervous. He was super loving about it. And it just took off.
There's something to be said. Well, confidence, right? Feeling skilled or confident, right? This is why learning new skills and practicing them is helpful. And then that permission piece, like not that like the should I, but more like, permission for the experience to be whatever it is. Let's just try this and see what happens. And also for everyone listening, you can try new sex positions and change your mind, right? This isn't for me. You can change your mind in 5 seconds, in 2 minutes, whatever, or after like, hey, that was cool. I don't really want to do that again, right? It doesn't mean that just because you open up the doors to a new position, you have to keep doing it in that moment or continue to do it in the future. And before we close out and learn more about what you guys want to, or what you guys are offering to the world currently, and you guys are always offering different workshops, you retreats, you do one-on-ones with couples and individuals. But I wanted to just add shower sex as one of the ones that everyone always thinks as like, I remember when I was
hot tub sex too.
Oh yeah. Hot tub sex is an instant yeast infection for me. And hard to do because it's wet, although Uber Loop helps with all the water sports. Not talking about golden showers, everyone. But shower sex is something that was the very first one for me when I was a teenager, when I remember having a boyfriend when I was like 16 and he's like, what are your fantasies? And mine was like, I don't know, sex probably sounded like that. I was 16. I don't know, sex in a shower. And then meanwhile, like when I try and have, later having sex in a shower, like, there's nothing special about this. Yeah. And then in fact, it's like a lot of water. I feel like I'm wasting the water. And although I have been in showers where they have little like stepping stool things or a built in, that makes it easier. But I just wanted to say that for everyone, like if you're into shower sex, cool. But a lot of people think it's like all the rage. Do you like it, April? Or what do you think?
Only if there's 2 heads, because I get cold if I'm not.
The cold. You get cold. Yeah. It's someone's
not comfortable, which brings us back to the 2.0 version. Be comfortable.
Yeah.
Then you can enjoy it.
Comfort is gold.
Yeah. Be more.
Shower sex is great as like foreplay. We find where you're not really having sex. You're just kind of being with each other's bodies. It's a nice starter.
Yeah. That's kind of hot. But then once if you get to intercourse or something, I also find it's just wet.
Let's move on, dry off, carry on. We did that. Yay, we can be proud of ourselves. We did something new, fun, exciting. Move on. All right, let's talk about your new, fun, exciting. Speaking of offerings that you have coming up. I know you have continuous offerings. You work with clients. Share all the goodies.
Okay, I will share all the goodies. So Erwan and I are trained to support both singles and couples in tantric practices like we've been talking about today, and then also relationship development. So there's a few different ways that you can work with us. I'll highlight a few of them. So there's 2 ways you can work with us privately. And one of them is private somatic coaching, which is just what it sounds like. It's a deep dive into your own personal process. as a couple or as an individual with either of us. Or you can do the Sensuality Expansion Program, which is a private intensive for a couple or a single with practice partners with both of us, where you can learn extended orgasm. And you can also learn advanced tantric sensual practices and positions. We also have a weekly group coaching program, Mastery of Relationship, which is a lot of fun. You're with a community, lots of different people. All of the programs can be done virtually or in person. So I have something special for the Shameless Sex listeners, which is for anybody that sets up a call with me and then signs up for either the coaching or the Sensuality Expansion Program, we will include an entire year of our weekly program, Mastery of Relationship, for free. It's
everyone's like, I didn't even know. This
listeners.
is awesome.
I know everyone's like, what? We've never done this before.
That's generous.
But it's just, they work so well together, and we want to make it easy for y'all to do that. So
do it, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Even Erwan's like, dang, that's a good.
Yeah.
Like,
a year.
Yeah.
Transform someone's sex life.
Yeah.
It is rewarding work. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
So for those of you that think you might like our support in your love life, in your sex life, your sensual life, and you want to know more, let's talk. It's easy. Just text this number, 415-308-9580. 415-308-9580.
We'll put in the show notes too.
And there'll also be a link in show notes if you prefer to do a link. Yeah. And our website is davonmethod.com.
Yeah, don't forget Save from Shameless Sex, because they're not giving that away to everyone that calls them.
Yeah, and that's this episode is in 2026, and I know that you'll have some like in-person events, and people from our listening community have gone to your retreats, and there's been really good feedback. So if you are offering something, please let us know. We'll keep everyone updated. And how can people can find you, work with you through the Davon, it's davonmethod.com, right?
Davonmethod.com.
And they can call you, or they can text. Don't call people. Okay. This is
I never pick up calls.
No,
I just don't even have my phone on. Just text.
I have my spam filter on, so sometimes that's a bad idea. But so just sending a text is great. I think that this episode will be really helpful to a lot of people. I think it was funny and also creative and informative and accessible for people. So everyone listening can have sex positions 2.0 in their lives when they're ready. If not now, then later. And so thank you, Alicia, and thank you, Erwan, Mr. and Mrs. Davon, aka, and keep charging along and being the strongest humans, because I feel like Alicia's pretty strong too in the galaxy.
Alicia's pretty strong.
Yeah, I was
like
gonna
a
say.
psychic strength.
Yeah, I'm like, she's pretty on point.
Yeah, watch out. Watch out, world.
We love you too. We love your work. Thank you for being part of our Shameless Sex family, because it does feel that way to you and to you both. And to our family out there listening, our Shameless Sex family, that is. Maybe your mom's probably listening. So to you too, Mom. Janice, thank you for joining us every single Tuesday for the last almost 9 years. We have been doing this podcast, and we couldn't do this podcast without you. We also couldn't do it without our sponsors. So please buy the shit that we talk about, because it helps more people find more shameless sex. And this is a free resource. So we're counting on you to keep us alive. Okay. Help us. It's a hard economic times out there. So free resources are great, but you know, obviously spend $5 here, $28 there, go and support us. That is supporting us, and support the Davons, support the people that are on our show. We pick them for you because we believe in their work too. So I'm done with my preaching today, but I love all of you, and review us if you haven't done so already. Give us 5 stars, and we'll love you right back. All right. We'll see you next Tuesday, everyone. Ciao for now.
To learn more, go to shamelesssex.com.
And for 15% off some of our favorite sex toys, use code SHAMELESSSEX at purepleasureshop.com.